now. So, hey, I'm recording. This is Ken and Moshe Guy from Haifa, Ken in Florida, Patty in Los Angeles. We have the United States covered and across one ocean. We still need to add a few more people from different continents so we can have the whole world. But Moshe is going to teach us something. Thank you, Moshe.
So we're going to learn, first of all, a few points from the Parashat Shavua, and it will be connected to the Zohar that is about this Parashat KiTetze. And we start with a few interesting points. The first point is the first sentence in the Parasha that says, KiTetze lamilchama al oivecha. The meaning of the words are, when you go out to, you have a war with your enemies. So the language of the pasuk, of the sentence, explains, KiTetze lamilchama al oivecha. The minute you're going out to war, you're on your enemy.
Can you restate that, Moshe? You clicked out. You shut off.
Yeah, I know. I have a problem now. I'm someone called me. But the first point is that is KiTetze lamilchama al oivecha. One minute, I tried to accept it and to tell him.
Okay, go ahead. Whatever. We're fine.
Well, hello?
Yes, I'm here. We're all here. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm sorry because I had to. If I didn't answer him, it will continue until the end of the lesson. So I had to answer. Okay. But the first point, what we said is that when you go out to the war, immediately you're on your enemy, and it's very interesting. When you decide you're gonna do something, you're gonna do something in kedusha, yeah. So know that you get special powers from Hashem. Now we're doing Zoom across the ocean. We want to bring more friends inside this lesson in Yitzhak Hashem. And Avram, you know from your experience that when you decide something, yeah, you know where it starts. You never know where it's finished. We started with 2 people in the lesson in Haifa. It became. We were more than 10 people that sat together and learned Tanya. So I believe that this lesson too in Yitzhak Hashem, it will grow and grow, and I'm sure that it'll bring a lot of nachat ruach to Hashem.
Well,
a lot of blessing,
yes,
to us.
That's what I want.
The point is, one of the points is that the Baal Shem Tov says that from the will, from the energy of the enemy, you can learn how to work out things. When you look, for example, you look on what we have problems with the Arabs, yes, and they don't quit. They all the time they try again and again. We have to learn something from it for the Kedusha. We'll never stop trying. Even it's something that seems to be not, it's not reasonable, but we'll all the time, we'll continue to try again and again to do more and more good and to do the will of God. And there's an example that's brought in the Torah that when you want to cut a tree, you take an ox, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the hand of the ox is from wood. For cutting the wood, for cutting the tree, you're taking some of the tree himself. And the same is about when we try to do something in Kedusha, we have to use the way of thinking. We have to use the system of the enemy.
Okay.
The second point is what the Rav Magid says, is KiTetze lemilchama. When you go out from your connection with Hashem, you're in war. You're in a battlefield immediately. But a few minutes ago, I was with, I learned Torah, I learned Zohar. What happened? 7 minutes later, and you're in a battlefield again, with thoughts, with feelings, with people, with neighbors, with friends, with family. What happens here? So Rav Magid says you have to know this is the way this world is created. When you live, when you stop being connected with the Torah, with the mitzvah, you're immediately in a war. And what can we do? We can use two ways. One way is a way of fighting, and this is the way of praying. The second way to win the war is to learn Torah. By learning Torah, you're winning the war without fight, without bullets. If you want to win the war without bullets, you have to add more and more Torah in your life. Of course, it doesn't mean you have to sleep good, you have to eat good, well, you have to work, you have to walk, to keep an eye on what your body needs. But by learning Torah in your life, yes, you really are bringing peace to your world.
Yes.
And okay.
What about the women? I'm just reading the Parsha, and it says, when you go out to war against your enemies, and Hashem your God will deliver him into your hand, and you will capture his captivity, and you will see among its captivity a woman who is of beautiful form.
Barbara, I can't hear you very good. Why I can't hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
No, something's wrong. What happened?
Nothing as far as I know. Everything should be good. I'll try it. Maybe your volume is down when you answer the phone?
No, I tried. It's my volume is good.
Daddy, can you hear?
Maybe yours is different?
Yeah, your volume, both of you are perfect.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Well, you want to hang up and call back, Moshe?
If it will help, you think it will help?
Yes, if it doesn't work, I think it will help. Yeah, I think so.
I'll try now. I'll try to call again.
Okay. Hopefully it will work. You're back.
No, 1 minute. No, it's just 1 minute. Okay, I can't hear you very good, but you can hear me, Avram?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So what we're saying now is that the third point I wanted to talk is we have a mitzvah in our parasha. If someone lost something, we have to take care of it and to give it back to him. It's a mitzvah to give back his lost, the thing he lost. And we learned that there's a Aveida, we say in Hebrew, something you lost, that it's not physical, it's spiritual. And we have to take care of it and to do our best to give it back to the one that lost it. And what Chassidut says is that even if you don't know this person, you should not you should do your best to bring this thing he lost, to bring it back to him. His connection with Hashem, for example. There are people that say, listen, I had once upon a time I could talk with Hashem, I could pray, I could make mitzvahs, but now something changed. Maybe you have the power to bring them this connection, to make this connection again. And the way the Baal Shem Tov says the things here is that even you don't know this person at all, you never saw him before, you just heard about him, but you can do something that to renew his connection with Hashem, you have to do it. You're, how you say, you're obligated, or you have to do it. So now let's say something about the Zohar.
Thank you.
This was only the beginning, but we have, if we have the Zohar in Parashat KiTetze, it begins with the words "Ve'anshu oto mea kesef."
Yes, it does.
And it talks about the one that's Moitzi Shem Ra. Yes, what is Moitzi Shem Ra? It's someone that talk bad things about someone. And the Torah said that whatever happens, you should do your best not to talk bad things about other people. We learned it from Miriam, the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu, that when she talked about her brother, and she meant for good, that's for sure. She was a prophet. Miriam Neviah, she was a prophet. And when she talked bad things about her brother, about Moshe Rabbeinu, she was punished. So, and we have to remember it. It's one of the 6 things that we have to remember every day. Don't forget what Hashem gave Miriam because she talked about her brother. And so what he says here, that the Parsha is talking about someone that talks bad things about a woman. And he should be punished by paying 100 silver coins, because because he talked something bad about a Jewish woman.
So no matter what the Jewish woman does, no, we can't talk bad.
No, here the situation was, Rabbi Abraham, that actually he got married with her, and she says, listen, she's not virgin. So because he talked something that it's not true about this Israeli Jewish wife, so he will have to pay her money because he abused her.
Okay.
And he says that the same what happened with the spies that came to Eretz Israel, the Zohar says. The meraglim, the apiko shumbish al ar'a, itanshu begina umitu v'lazachulei. Because the spies that Moshe Rabbeinu sent to Eretz Israel, how can you conquer her, this country, and what is the situation, and how the people over there, and so and so. And they came and they said bad things about the country. They were punished and they didn't get, they died in the desert. They couldn't come to Eretz Israel. And what he says here, that Eretz Israel, it's like a wife. It's like a woman, in a way.
Yeah.
And continue the Zohar and says, "Ve'iteta karka ihi be'ara." And a woman, it's like the woman is like the ground, like the Eretz HaKodesh, yeah, the Holy Land. The woman is like the Holy Land, and it called that way because it's hinting on the basic part of the highest world that's called Atzilut, Malchut Atzilut. In a way, we have to understand what the Zohar is hinting us. It's written in the Torah that the man has to provide his wife food and clothes, right? So she's accepting from her husband. The husband is the one that gives her the food and the clothes, and she gets it from her husband. That's the point. She gets from someone that is above her in a way. And she has to give now for her children. So in that point, she's in the point of influence. In one point, she's receiving from something that is above her, and from the other point, she's influencing to her children that are under her. And that's exactly the point of Malchus. Malchus gets from all that's above her and gives to the world that's under her. Are we clear? Are we understanding each other?
Well, what's under her? That's why it lost me at that. So let me just restate it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you very, very
faintly. Okay. All right. So what you said was that Malchut, Israel is like Malchut. Malchut is a woman, and I didn't understand what you get under. Like, what is Malchut influence under her?
The Malchut of Atzilut, Rabbi Avraham, is giving to the Olam HaBriya, that it's under the Atzilut. In every world you have Malchut.
Bria.
The Malchut gets from the higher world that's above it and gives to the world that's under it, like the woman. The woman is the Malchut. She's the queen of the house. She is the queen. She gets from her husband, from the king, and she gives down to the princess and to the princes, to the prince and yeah.
Okay, so you have Atzilut, yes, okay, and then you have Malchut of Atzilut, and you're saying that Israel is like Malchut of Atzilut. Is that?
The land of Israel, it's like Malchut. That's what it says.
Malchut
Yes.
of Atzilut, though. This is the point. There's 4 worlds.
She gets from Hashem, and she gives to all the world.
Okay.
What happens here in Israel is influencing all the world. That's why all the world is all the time is dealing with Eretz Israel. Everyone wants it. The Christians wants it. The Muslim wants it. The Baha'i wants it. Everyone wants this country. What happens here?
So let me just restate it, one sentence, and then we'll go on. So if there is something that's a problem, that is not somebody saying something that's bad, if the children of Israel are saying something that's bad, then it is damaging the malchut of absolute, which is a higher malchut. It's not the malchut here. Yeah, I'm going to say it's the heavenly malchut. So everything that's below it, let's just say the malchut of malchut, or the malchut of Yesaya, okay, which is a lower level, then that is it's not receiving the good energy. It's the energy is damaged high, and so we're not receiving the energy here that's correct. Anyway, go ahead. I don't need to understand it. Please continue.
No, but the point is really that we have to say good things about Eretz Israel. To talk good things, to talk about everyone. We have to think about it, that when we say good things about other people, you always can look, and say, listen, it's not perfect. It's like that, but try to find the good points. And if you want to talk about something, talk about the good points. There's a sticker today that is very common in Israel, and it says, Lashon hara doesn't speak to me. Bad words are not, I can't hear bad words. Sorry, it's not for me. And I think this is something that it's keeping the air around us clean. When we talk good things, we think good things, it influences our feelings, our thoughts, our health, and it's important thing. Now the Zohar continues. It's very, very interesting, a very, very big chidush. It's a very new thing that the Zohar tells us that we couldn't know without what the Zohar says, without the Zohar reveal these secrets to us.
Yes.
And he says that Esther, the Queen Esther, was like Karka Olam. Karka Olam means like the ground, like the earth. And if someone will say that Achashverosh, the king of Persia, touched her, he is wrong.
Okay.
And we have to know that Esther had the merit that Ruach HaKodesh, she had Ruach HaKodesh. She was a prophet. How you say a prophet in female way?
Yes, prophetess. Prophetess.
Prophetess?
Yes.
And that's what he says, Vatilbash Esther Malchut. And we have to know, Ani Avayu Ushmil Chudi Lacher Lo Eiten Utilati Lapsilim Ruach Dekucha Shchin Tehava Di Shem Det Lapshash Bester. So what he says is that actually the king Achashverosh couldn't touch Esther because she was really a prophet and she was guarded by Hashem and his angels.
Yes, very common.
And if you think, Aval Rabbanan, Vaili non dachlin tevel deoraita, chamor deoraita, ולא ידי בסתר דאורייתא, אלא כליל וחמורים דאורייתא, כליל תבן דאורייתא, חומר דאורייתא, חיטה, חיטי אילן וטוב ורע. 1 minute. So what he says here actually, that I'm just looking where it's written. But what he says here, we'll just let's go forward. He says here that the Shekhinah, the light of Hashem, hided Esther, and that's why Esther has the word seter. Seter means to hide something. Esther was hidden by the Shekhinah from Achashverosh, that he won't see her. And she gave him, instead of her, she gave him a demon. There was a demon that had the shape of Esther, and he went to Achashverosh. That the Zohar says, the Rabbi Shimon says it. We have to know that the Torah is truth. And when she wanted to say that Shlomo HaMelech had 1,000 wives, he said it. And he wanted to say, when he wanted to say that Shimshon had Delilah, she was a Palestinian girl, the Torah said it. But here it says about Esther, you have to know she had the power. She had the power to take a demon and to send instead of her. And here the commentary says here that she could take the low part of herself, the bad part that everyone has, nefesh habemit, the how you say, the nefesh habemit, it's like the lowest part of the soul, and to separate it from her and to send it to Achashverosh. And she stayed in her spiritual level. She had the Mesirut Nefesh to go to Achashverosh if it was needed. But Hashem made a miracle, and she, of course, she deserved this miracle. And it went out in another way. And that's what says, hello?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Patty, can you hear us?
And I found it now. The Arizal says, and that was the point of Esther, that she used to send this demon instead of her. And this demon went and had a relationship with Achashverosh. And it was like a part that separated from Esther herself. Yeah, and she knew how to do it, how to separate part of her and to send it instead of her.
That sounds fast.
And it was by the holy name. She had access to the holy name of Hashem. You know, Mordechai was like Moshe Rabbeinu of the generation, and she was his wife. So she could reach this holy name and use it for saving her from the hands of this bad king, Achashverosh, his name. And from this relationship between the demon and Achashverosh came out Daryavesh. Daryavesh ben Esther, he came out from this demon that went and had a relationship with Achashverosh.
Wow.
And that why Daryavesh was half bad and half good. And he was a Gentile, he wasn't Jewish, but from the other side, he ordered to build a temple. Because he gave the permission, actually Koresh, his son, gave the permission, but he was the first to give the permission. Daryavesh was the first one to give the permission, and it was from the good side he had inside of him. As we said, it was the lowest part of the. It was connected with Esther, but it wasn't Esther herself. That's why it wasn't Jewish. And what he says here that before someone is a okay, now this is the point. This is the point that I wanted to point out, that I think it's very beautiful in this parasha, but what time is it? It's enough for today?
Well, you better point it out, because we don't know what you mean. You point it out, and then will be enough.
What do you think about what we learned today?
I think it's very important topic. I think it's there's two important parts of this topic that the last part about Darius and the rebuilding of the temple and the demon and Queen Esther is very complicated. because what it is that there was a relationship with the King Ahasuerus, with the Queen Esther, who is very famous, that resulted in a baby being born by the name of Darius. But Queen Esther, her godly soul was shielded by the Shekinah, and her physicality was removed, and somehow there was a creation of a demon probably taking part of her body. I don't know, okay?
Actually, I wanted to tell you, Patty, are you with us?
I'm
Patty,
here.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay. There's another story about a thing that is a little bit similar about Shlomo HaMelech, Solomon, the King Solomon, that it's known, we read it last parasha, that the Torah is ordering us that the king should not have too many wives and should not have too much money and not too many horses. And it says in the Medrash that the Shlomo Melech actually had many wives, he had a lot of money, and he had many, many horses. And then there was a big kitug in the sky. There was a judgment. He said, how come? The Torah says clearly that you shouldn't do it. And it's not okay. It can't be like that. I mean, he has to work according to the rules of the Torah. Even though he's the son of David HaMelech, and he's a righteous king in the other things, okay, and he built the temple, okay, but you cannot do, and you cannot do things that are not according to the book of laws, the Torah. And then they decided that they will throw Solomon the king from his kingdom. And instead of him, there was a demon. That's what's written in the Medrash. Came a demon instead of Solomon the king. And he looked exactly like Solomon the king, and nobody knew for a long time that actually it's not Solomon, it's not King Solomon, it's a demon that came instead of him. It's a famous story. So we see that it's more than one place that this thing is appearing in the Torah, and it's interesting. We don't really understand. It says that many secrets in the world, and we just by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, we are getting to know by the Torah, the secrets of the Torah. We're getting to know some of the secrets that are in this world, and as we're getting nearer and nearer to the Messiah's time, to Mashiach time, then we will get to know more and more secrets until we'll have the merit to see Beit HaMikdash in its place, and the king Mashiach in Jerusalem, and all the Jews from all the world, and you too, will come to Eretz HaKodesh, and we live here forever, happily.
Okay.
Excellent.
Until the end of the generations. So that's for today. And I hope that next week we have more friends on Zoom.
I'll try.
I'm trying now, Avram, to build, I talked with my son to have a big screen that with a camera on it, that
Okay.
I can talk more, to sit in the salon and talk more, will be more convenient.
Well, this is
Yes,
wonderful.
Hashem.
This is wonderful to have you doing this for us on your phone, and we could see you, we could hear you. It's very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and all the best.
Okay. Thank you very
Take
much.
care.
Take care, Moshe.
Bye bye.
Be well.
Take care. I'm hanging.
Be well. Bye bye.
Recording now. Bye.